Trade Technical College, and I am pleased to welcome you here to our campus downtown. We offer 9 pathway majors with over 80 career education programs that move students into great careers in just 2 years. Some of our largest pathways include the Culinary Arts program, the Construction, Maintenance, and Utilities, and Advanced Transportation and Manufacturing. This fall, Culinary Arts proudly welcomed more than 500 students, completely filling their first semester classes. Construction, Maintenance, and Utilities saw 2,200 students, and Advanced Transportation and Manufacturing welcomed over 800 students. During this period of recovery due to the pandemic, these numbers are very encouraging for us and point to the enduring interest for students in our programs. Our new Culinary Arts building, which you see in front of you, and the Construction Technology building, which is to your right, are state-of-the-art facilities built with the support of bond funds. With these new facilities, Trade Tech will continue to educate future generations of career professionals who will prepare your food for you, who will fix your transportation, all kinds, and build our homes and our workplaces. It is now my pleasure to introduce my boss, Los Angeles Community College District Chancellor Francisco Rodriguez.
Thank you, Dr. Burke. Good morning y muy buenos días a todos. Thank you. So good to be here at LA Trade Technical College. This is where hope, opportunity, success intersect. We're so proud today to bring you information about a significant measure, a bond measure that's on the November 8th ballot. It's called Measure LA. And what Measure LA will do is, let me just show you this very, very easily. That building over there, the gymnasium, that's our past. Behind me is our current. This is our newest building right behind us, the Culinary Arts building. It's 100,000 square feet, state-of-the-art facility, classroom laboratory for students, as Dr. Burke mentioned in our culinary program. That over there is our future. That's our construction, maintenance, and utilities building that you'll hear a lot more about. That will be the largest single facility at LACCD and perhaps in the California community colleges. Our past, our present, our future. What Measure LA will do, it will allow for buildings such as the one right behind me and our future to be outfitted all throughout the 9 colleges of LACCD. We have 900 square miles, over 5 million residents that we're proud to educate. Those students deserve the best academic facilities to match the excellent instructors that we have, support staff, and administrators throughout the LACCD. So what it is a $5.3 billion measure on the November 8th ballot, and we'll ask our voters to take it into account. Today is about bringing you information as to what it is, what it does, and why it matters. So here's what it actually does. It focuses in on a couple of very specific areas. First of all is aging buildings, like the ones I just pointed out. Did you know that we have about 45 buildings throughout our district that have been built in the 1970s or before? The average number of years of those buildings is about 64 years. Can you imagine how old those buildings are? They need to be modernized, retrofitted, torn down, reconstructed, repurposed in a way that meets the needs of 21st century instructors, teaching and learning, and most importantly, to meet the needs of students. So we were not going to build out new space, new assigned square footage in this particular bond, but indeed replace, modernize, and upgrade facilities. What it also does, it replaces and modernizes aging infrastructure. Now, infrastructure is kind of a funky word. It means all the things in some ways that you can't see: water, sewer, electricity, the connectivity between buildings, the ways these buildings breathe, they're alive, the way they function. Well, we have about 450 plus miles of infrastructure throughout our 9 colleges that needs to be modernized or replaced for future learners. Did you know that LA Trade Technical College will celebrate its 100th year anniversary this decade? LA City College, yes, that deserves a round of applause. 100 years, standing, educating Los Angeles. LA City College in the year 2029 will also be celebrating 100 years of service to Los Angeles. So you can see, with those facilities, with that aging infrastructure comes the responsibility for us to make sure that when the water is turned on, it's clean. That when the lights turn on, they're in such a way that they're energy efficient. When students walk into a building, that they are designed in such a way to allow us to fulfill our promise to the students, to the faculty and staff, and to the residents of LA County of a sustainable, carbon neutral Los Angeles Community College District. So we're very, very pleased about these aims that we have around infrastructure, around technology, and around sustainability. What it will also do, most importantly, and why it matters, and you're going to hear direct testimony as to why excellent facilities matters to the learning of students. When students walk into facilities that are modern, that work, that allow them to get the training and skills for 21st century work, they are prepared for the workplace. They are prepared better for university transfer, and they are prepared to contribute to the regional and local economy that is Los Angeles. So we want to make sure that students have the best academic environments that they can have so they can fulfill their academic dreams to indeed be successful. It also matters because our buildings are constructed with the project labor agreement, and that alone brings up a local regional economic profile that's pretty impressive. Our Board of Trustees has given us full authority for local hire provision, and we have surpassed our goals in that matter. Our Board of Trustees has given us full authority for small, local, emerging, and disabled veterans businesses, and we're well over the goals that we set in hiring persons and businesses from those particular types of categories. So it's a local economic stimulus package if you look at it that way. That's also why it matters. But most importantly, it matters to the education of students and to the fulfillment of their dreams, their hopes, and their aspirations. So to say a little bit more about Measure LA, we're here to educate the public about what this measure will do towards the education of students, the provision of economic and regional diversity to this region, and ultimately to the success of Los Angeles. So let's lift Los Angeles through education. There is no stronger accelerant or determinant of social and economic mobility than education. And at LACCD, all 9 colleges, we accept the top 100% of the graduating class, and we're very, very proud of that. So with that in mind, that deserves a round of applause, brother. Thank you. It does. Access, equity, opportunity. This is where it all happens. So let me now introduce the leader of our Board of Trustees for the Los Angeles Community College District. Please welcome Dr. Gabriel Buelna.
Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, President. To set the stage for today, I think we need to make sure what we're promising with Measure LA passes, and that's free barbecue, everyone. Free barbecue. Come on, it's the morning on Thursday morning, and we have our culinary students here with their great hats, and with a great soccer field. We have great weather in LA, so this is a happy day. But when we talk about 64 years from now, I was doing my math. I'm an attorney and political scientist, not a math major. But in the year 2022, that would equate to 1968. Am I correct with my math? So, 58. Okay. I don't do our LACCD budgets, okay? But who was president during that time period? Eisenhower was our president. And in thinking about kind of the time period of some of our buildings, we need to understand that 64 years ago was a long time. 100 years ago was a long time. There's a lot of things that during that time period, the Dodgers had barely arrived. Dodger Stadium had not been built yet. Most of our freeway system had not been built yet. So a lot of construction standards were very different. But today, I got to meet the head of our culinary program, and I want to thank them. But right now, I think we have about 500 students in our culinary program that are enrolled, almost getting to pre-pandemic levels, and that's extremely important. But the components of Measure LA, Measure Los Angeles, is about filling that equity gap and making sure that for generations we're able to say we were able to, in 2022, foresee the issues in the future. We're able to foresee them. And if you're able to foresee them, that means that you actually then at that point have a duty to move. And that is not only, let me go over some of the components. Upgrades, pre-1970s buildings, $1.3 billion. Infrastructure upgrades, information technology, water, sewage, electricity, $734 million. Sustainability, to make sure that they last a significant amount of time, 687 building. Student workforce housing, 500 million. We're going to be the first entity, the first community college district to include student housing, student and staff housing within a bond program. And just to be very clear for those who think that we're doing it by accident, no, we put in that language with specific intent to affect state policy and federal housing with regard to how we view the role of our community colleges. It's not Mission Creek to do student housing. It is our mission within our community college system. We are going to focus on college and specific needs of each college. Technology upgrades, $300 million. Those are some question before the pandemic why we're investing so much in technology. The minute the pandemic hit, we had no one questioning our investments in technology because we were able to survive. And finally, our athletic fields, $163 million. We want to be able to, at East LA College, have those track meets there. We want to make sure that Valley College has lights. We want to make sure that Gopher, the only people that are not welcomed at Pierce College Baseball are the Gophers under the pitcher's mound that are absolutely not welcome at Mission College. They can have a guest seat somewhere else, but not with us. So Measure LA, Measure Los Angeles is about making sure that we fulfill our duty and make sure that the students in the future and generations are assured that we've reached that we're getting that equity gap between that CSU and UC, that we have a better community. I don't want equal. We want a better community college system than the UC or the CSU system. So the one individual that it is my duty and honor to introduce is our assembly person. Assembly person Santiago started at the as a trustee in 2008. And sometimes it's easy to say one generation helps the other, except he's younger than me. But one political generation. Assemblyman Santiago was here when we passed several bonds before. To have an elected official who's now in the assemblies move on to the assembly, be here with us to see the fruits of his labor and to be able to bridge those generations of trustees who thought about it and move us forward to right here. So it's an honor and a pleasure to introduce Assemblyman Santiago.
It's always a cool thing when el mero introduces you. For everybody else, that means the main dude in Spanish. We always say that. Hey, and speaking of bond measures, maybe I'll get an invite to one of the grand openings for the Bondi Past. That'd be kind of cool.
It's in the mail.
It's in the mail. All jokes aside, look, it's historic that we're here because people are asking in this election cycle with millions of dollars on the airwaves. One proposition goes one way, another proposition goes another way. You got candidates spending enormous amounts of dollars, and they ask, hey, what's this Measure LA? So the duty here today is just to educate people on what Measure LA is. Right? Measure LA is a very simple bond measure. And what it says is that we're going to upgrade all the campuses across the LA Community College District. And some people ask, well, what's so sexy about that? Well, I kind of have an answer for that. It's kind of like asking a student to go jog in a worn out, destroyed pair of shoes. It's just not going to work. If you want somebody to jog, you got to motivate them. You got to get them the right gear, got to get them the cool shoes. You got to get the brand that feels good on the feet and they can go jog. Get that? You got that, right? You can't ask a student to go get educated in a facility that isn't up to grade. And here at the LA Community College District, we've got the opportunity to show that. We've got state-of-the-art buildings all over the place, but then we've got some that are not state-of-the-art. So the monies are desperately needed to make education a place, or to make education a place that is cool, that is hip, that is sexy, that just invigorates us to want to get educated. I mean, that's the bottom line. $5 billion would go to renovate the LA Community College District, to provide workforce education and housing, student housing, to upgrade the technology. And yeah, we've got to do that. At the state level, we made community colleges free for 2 years. So if we're gonna make it free for 2 years and ask students to come, they might as well have the coolest, hippest, most updated facilities possible on planet Earth. Look, and all jokes aside, there are students here at LACCD that think the dinosaurs roamed the earth when we built some of these buildings. True fact. Some of these buildings are older than I am, and that's getting pretty old. So we need to upgrade it, all jokes aside. And so if voters, we urge voters to go do their homework, to go do your education, to read on what this measure does. You may decide one way, or you may decide another way, but it is critical that you are informed on all the propositions. Today we ask you to get informed on Measure A. Lo digo para los medios de comunicación en español. Y esto es muy importante, porque estamos aquí haciendo un programa de educación. Hay mucha gente que nos ha dicho, hay millones de dólares en las proposiciones. Hay millones de dólares para candidatos. Hemos visto que una proposición hace esto, que una proposición hace lo otro. ¿Qué significa Measure LA? Es muy simple. Para educar. Este dinero van para mejorar a todos los colegios comunitarios del distrito de Los Ángeles. O sea, hacerlos nuevos, hacerlos completos y hacerlos de un modo que los estudiantes quieran venir a educarse. Y la gente nos pregunta ¿por qué? O sea, es como decirle a alguien que va a correr o a hacer ejercicio, que vayan a hacer ejercicio con zapatos rompidos, pues nunca va a pasar. Entonces nosotros queremos que la gente tenga esos zapatos modernos, que se sienta bien, que quiera correr, que quiera hacer el ejercicio. Y es lo mismo que en la educación. Hay estudiantes que dicen con chiste que muchos de estos edificios se han hecho cuando los dinosaurios andaban aquí en la planeta. No es verdad, pero sí es verdad de que ocupamos que mejorar a estos salones para que los estudiantes vengan. En el estado de California hicimos la educación completamente gratis para los estudiantes o los colegios comunitarios. Ahora necesitamos que hacer estos edificios de un modo nuevos, modernos, cool, hip, para que vengan aquí a la educación. Free community college, we want better classroom. Colegios comunitarios gratis, hay una oportunidad. Por favor, edúquense. Nuestra comunidad habla hispana, edúquense, regístrense a votar, hagan su tarea y decidan en este noviembre qué van a votar, en qué measure. Pero en Measure LA es importante de que se eduquen para hacer una buena decisión. Y ahora me da mucho gusto, I have great pleasure to introduce Bill Ellerton, and I'm gonna forget the second last name. Say it so I can say it. Zelig. There you go, Ellerton Zelig. A big round of applause.
I have to listen to that 3 times before I pick up enough words to understand what he said. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Bill Ellerton Selig, and I am the department chairman for the Construction, Maintenance, and Utilities Department here at Trade Tech. I've been here for about, this is my 35th year at Trade Tech. So this place sucked my youth and the color out of my hair. And to this day, I wouldn't give up a minute of it. The students here are incredible. Even though I think my primary job today is going to kind of show what some of the infrastructure in the past has done for us, because you can look across over here to this building that is quite ancient. We have been kind of landlocked and have more demand for our programs, the electricians, the plumbers, really good jobs and careers that we train for, but we kind of landlocked. Over the years, ADA, different things changed, and a lot of that, it's hard to make those changes in existing buildings. So we haven't been able to expand. And then during the initial bonds, plans were made to do some movement and give us an opportunity to grow into different areas in some of the new, solar and renewable and some of the new areas. And that led to what's being constructed over here, which is twice the size of that building. Can't quite get twice as many people in it because of the new rules, but it is designed from the ground up to be the most flexible building for our industry. It has the labs are generic in such a way that they can be modified and moved for almost any one of the construction trades, and the classrooms, and they're all built to be a pod. And if something begins to go away, and like possibly ICE engines or something like that, and we're moving to something else, it's structured in such a way that we'll be able to make a rapid change and move to a new technology. And that's really based on the infrastructure that's in the building. It isn't complete because there was some trade-off between infrastructure at the time and space, and it worked out that way. So there'll be a few things we need. We discovered very late in the game it'll be very difficult to close that down and move anything that we have over to there and bring it back up. We'd be down for probably a year, and I'm proud to say that our department is a small college at this point. We are one of the largest departments in the entire district, and probably larger than one of our colleges in general. We're just under about 6,000 students headcount within the day and evening programs, which I'm very proud of. And then they want to be, I don't know if you can trigger what that building's going to look like. You'll be able to see it running. The very interesting designs that went into it. It was a ground-up design with faculty, administration. It was what we've always promised to do, which is you get it together and plan it around the programs. And that's what led to this building, and we can't wait to get it finished. It's had its ups and downs, but we're going to get there. And I just want to say that I'm incredibly happy that I work here. We have some of I believe now the state classifies our electrical lineman entry-level program as the #1 entry-level job opportunity for any student. And it can actually be done here within 2 semesters. And it has an entry-level start of a little better than $95,000. And that's entry-level. And that is fantastic. And just last week, one of the students came back who graduated about 5 years ago. They're now turned out as a journeyman. They come back to say hi. And these are not just jobs. They're life-changing for the individual, and honestly, they're life-changing for their from then on, for the rest of their families. And when they come back to say that, no matter what headaches I've had or how much I get upset with some of the bureaucracy and pushbacks, that's all it takes, just that. So anything that we can do to help that and help our students make that change, I'm in. And now I get to introduce Kathleen Ashu. I knew I was going to mess it up. I'm still going to mess it up. It's Kathleen, and she is our labor center's head of our labor center. So.
Hi, I'm Kathleen Yasuda. I'm the director of the Labor Center here at LA Trade Tech. I've got 2 disciplines. One is labor studies, which is sort of the union side of businesses, and community planning and economic development, which is all about training folks to go into their communities and make it better. So, community groups, public agencies that are helping agencies, those kind of jobs. And they've also asked me to tell you about how this bond, how the bond will actually help also just build all of our communities, because as I can't even remember who said it, but they're going to be project labor agreements, which means that they are going to be good paying construction jobs that are going to be building all of this. It's going to be local hire, which means that it'll be people in Los Angeles. They're not going to be shipping anyone who's cheap in from, who knows, Texas or wherever. They're going to be LA-based community jobs. And then on the other side of it, I just want to tell you, actually, I'll let Miguel know, thank you for the pass bonds. We used to have classes in a building that was so old, it didn't have heat or air because it was built before there was indoor heat and air, other than like fires and opening windows. And then we moved into a building that had been refurbished. It's still an old building, but they redid it and it had air conditioning. And I heard one of the students, when the first day we moved in, he said, "This is what success feels like. So thank you, Miguel, for the pass bonds, and I want to thank in advance the people of Los Angeles for getting this new bond pass, because absolutely our students deserve and need to be studying at a place that not only is comfortable, but as Bill's talking about for construction, are absolutely at the cutting edge. So people are being trained to do jobs that change people's lives. I just got to give a little bit of a personal history here. My mom was an immigrant. She went to East LA College for one class at a time for 14 years. And she graduated as an RN, wound up running 4 dialysis units, was a great success. She sent me to Harvard, sent my brother to Cornell, and complete success. And that's what community colleges do. It changes people's life, and it changes families, it changes communities. So I want to urge folks to vote yes on LA. And like everyone said, we're educating about what it means, but that's what it means. It means real change. Thank you very much. And I want to introduce one of our students, Daniel Bull. He's coming.
Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel Buell. I'm a student here in the Culinary Arts Department. The reason why I love cooking is in the department is because everyone is so friendly, from the students to the staff. Everyone's always encouraging for their future. I've noticed some new students who don't understand like recipes and don't have their skills up to par. So I'd help them, I want them to become, improve in their skills, not to decline or anything like that, to be positive in what they're doing. For example, for breakfast or lunch services, it's very important that we put the client first. It's important that we are very fast in what we do so that, that everyone's satisfied. Yeah, that's the goal for us. For my future endeavors, I want to collaborate with everyone, in the kitchen for, to satisfy the client. Now, I have goals, 2 goals. One thing is to own my own restaurant. And the second thing is to be a sous chef on a cruise liner. Yeah, I like keeping busy. And that's why I'm here today. Thank you.
The honor of introducing one of my construction students, and this is Derek Peltier Reed, and he's in our carpentry program, and he was nice enough to agree to give up his valuable education time to come over here and have speak a little.
Thank you, everybody. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you for being here, and thank you for listening. I say in the carpentry program, I start off in first semester. And in first semester, we build a house, but it's a scaled down house. We have all the bones in the houses, every single component in the house, but it's scaled down. When you go to second semester, you start working on roofs, all kind of roofs, and you also bring what you learned in first semester to life and actually build the house in a grand scale. So I'm currently in third semester. I love it to death. And a lot of it is dealing with concrete. Like right now, we're building concrete forms so we can build concrete columns, and it's really exciting. Next semester will be finished carpentry, and this is where we're gonna learn how to do baseboards, a lot of cabinetry, a lot of finish work. And all the instructors are absolutely incredible. I love them to death. And there's Miss Sue, one of our professors. She helps a lot with helping students get work. She collaborates with the Worksource Center and other areas here, and she really helps the students find jobs after they graduate, and it's really awesome. We have a Skills USA thing too, where we have some of our students make a team and we go compete locally and nationwide if we get that far. But we also collaborate with other programs like electricians and plumbers, because when we go build the houses, we build it, but they kind of have to help us because they can't start until we build the house and they get to put their stuff in. So they help us build, and then whenever we're finished, we see how they do it. And so we also learn a little bit about plumbing and electricity, which is amazing. So we all work collaboratively, and it's really exciting. This new building, oh my goodness. I love the building we're in currently. I'm very grateful for it. But I just know the stuff that they're gonna be experiencing there, oh my goodness, I am beyond words. I'm so excited for the new students who are gonna be in that building. Even in this building, I'm so excited for everybody there currently. It's been such a benefit, not only to me, but all the students in the program, and the instructors do a really well job. I'll close by saying thank you immensely for taking the time to be here. And I look forward to seeing this bond fulfill everything in it and to benefit students entirely. So thank you so much.
Everybody, thank you for coming out today. That concludes our program. We have NBC4 here if you'd like to stay and ask any questions. But thanks so much. We've also provided box lunch for everybody today here, and this was created by the culinary students here. So we appreciate them, and thank you so much.